do that. Thank you all for coming to the Telco Edge track this afternoon. We're going to spend a few minutes giving some overview of the working group here at OCP. On stage with me today is Craig White from Nokia. He's actually our IC representative and been part of this track for a very long time. Also Jim Nelson from Flex. He's heading up the Edge subgroup. My name's Lauren Staley, and we have another co-lead for the telco group, Marco Hakanan from Nokia, who is not able to join us today. Let me just give you a little bit of background on the telco track. So this was started 4 or 5 years ago with the intent of focusing on networking for telco deployments. It does cover a broad range of products from Edge back into the telco data centers, including very core routers and everything in between in terms of aggregation and metro. We do deal with the unique telco environmentals. So in particularly, a lot of the products that are contributed have very wide temperature range, -5 to 55 or -40 to 60 degrees C, intended for outdoor deployments or cabinet deployments. We also deal with features that are very unique to the telco industry up until this point, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So we do deal with sync and timing and GPS types of signals into the products, as that's a big part of both the telco networks and 5G mobile connections to it. There are other features that are important on the Edge. One of my favorites is something called dying gasp, and it has to do with equipment that's deployed remotely where you really want to know whether power has gone away or whether the power supplies have failed before you send somebody out. So there's a set of unique features that are part of the telco environment. Up to this date, we have like 19 contributions of products in the telco space, and we also have some specifications and white papers. We meet regularly once a month, and as I mentioned before, we have representation from the OCP IC committee from Craig White that's on the stage today. And I will turn it over now to Jim, and he'll explain about the Edge subgroup.
Great. Thanks, everyone. So we meet every second Tuesday of the month. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So we regularly have guest speakers that come in and present different topics. So if anybody has a topic that they would choose to share with the team, or, first of all, please attend and participate that way as well. But if you have presentations, let us know ahead of time. Generally, what I do is 1 week before the meetings, I'll send out an announcement. So if you have an opportunity to send it before then, I can get some visibility on the presentation and send it out to the full community. So it's a really good opportunity to hear people speak on topics as well as having good, lively discussions. So our next meeting will be, I don't have the exact date, but it'll be the second Tuesday of December, and look forward to everybody joining that way. So thank you.
All right. So hi, everyone. I'm Craig White. I'm the IC representative from Telco Group, and just as to give me a little help, who I'm talking to, have we? How many people have attended one of the Telco either online or on the emails? Okay, and then how about have attended OCP summits before and engineering workshops? Okay, so we have some new folks, some older folks been around for a while. So what I'd like to do first is to let's talk about the OCP and the summit, kind of what we're doing here and how the Telco group works and what our function is as the volunteer leadership team. So our main goal is to facilitate you guys having specifications or requirements, generating those, and then passing them through the red tape, if you will, of the OCP Foundation to get those actually published and out in a format that they can be widely disseminated. And so there's two different parts to the OCP specification process. And the first is there's a contribution portal. So in the contribution portal, you're able to pull up all of the contributions that have ever been made. There's a way to sort through it, to look at all those different things, either by group or by who proposed it, or in some cases the topics. And then there's the marketplace, which is actually the way that you can obtain access through service providers to these different embodiments of the specification. So at the end of the day, there's someone who has a need or has an idea for maybe a product, or it's you have some fellow travelers down the road and you'd like to document your journey, and you'd like to open that up for wider discussion, get some other input, and that's what a specification ends up being. So it starts out as an idea, it gets put into kind of a standard format, document format. We then, we shepherd it as the project leads in the IC. We shepherd that. It's your idea. We help you get through the process so that you don't have to worry about the minutia details of, it's got to go from point A to B to C to get accepted and published. We can also then, if you're, depending on whether you're a consumer or whether you're a supplier, on whichever side you come from, we also try to put hands together. So the supplier may have a product that we know that there's a need for, or a consumer that might be interested in it. We try to hook that up. Same way, if you're wanting to consume something, but you need someone to help you make an implementation of that, we also make those introductions and kind of help that work. So in any case, on the screen here, we've got some of the recent contributions that we've done. My guys have put together some solution blueprints. We did an open edge switch specification, which is in the edge group. It's a sled that goes into the chassis, which we'll cover a little bit more as the day goes on. And then Edge Core has some disaggregated cell site routers that have become specification. This is in the past year. And as Lauren said, in the Telco group, we've done work on GPON, XGPON, disaggregated routers. We'll hear about one of those today at some of our sessions. I'm not sure how many people are going to stay for all of our track. We'd love to have you, stay for all. And we have, action-packed day of hopefully good information for you. So once a year, we try to focus the group's thoughts and to help us kind of come up with topics and things to work for the year. And we issued a survey this year, and I don't know how many people have seen the results of the survey, but we asked a couple of questions about, like in this case, what's the use cases that are most relevant. And so, a lot of the respondents, right, their number one priority had to do with Edge Cloud. And so we're trying to now understand what does that mean. If you have some ideas about what you meant in Edge Cloud when you replied to this, we'd appreciate a discussion on a mail list about this, or a presentation for one of the group meetings to help us kind of focus in on, okay, what is it we can do? And then obviously, it's not like we're making these specifications, you guys are. And so we're just wanting to, put the fellow travelers together and come together with other members of the community that we know that might be interested in that topic, if we have a better idea of what exactly these all mean. Because in some cases, these were just yes, no, or, rank this 1, 2, 3, 4. And our first survey, actually, and we probably could have done a little better on the questioning. Maybe next year this survey will be, we'll continue to hone it. in our iterative process. So then we also then ask which of the deployment models is important. It's kind of interesting here that we had a trimodal distribution of folks who are interested in both the far edge, which is kind of where our edge group has been focused, and then edge deployments, and then along with the 5G in a box. And so this is kind of a one site deployment for 5G. So those are things that we're going to topics that we're going to work on over the year. And then obviously, when I say we're going to work on it, that means we're going to facilitate the discussions from the community and put the members together and try to, get that moving in a direction to get some output for our efforts. So I think now we have the schedule for the day. You want to cover that, or you want me to?
I was just going to cover it briefly, just
Okay.
not to go through every presentation that's going to be done today, but just to give the wide range that there's several topics related to edge and edge platforms that include networking and compute and storage, but also some papers related to the distributed disaggregated core routers that are based on the Broadcom DNX architecture for large core routers in central offices or telco data centers. We'll getting an update on the architecture for that, and then some things related to how you deal with firmware updates in a large environment like that. We're going to close out the day with a panel discussion that's talking about the ORAN or the 5G vRAN deployments, which kind of brings together the whole concept of both 5G, edge, and sort of the focus of what our next year of effort's going to be. And so we have several panel participants that are involved in that part of the network. And call to action. You can find the information here about the telco and the edge groups online at the OCP website. So thank you, and we will proceed shortly to the presentations.
Yeah. Just mention one thing too. With a lot of times, when you see these links on the slide, these will be published as part of the proceedings of the summit. So you'll have a copy of this, and you can actually just click on these links rather than trying to type them in. Some get a little busy sometimes, I've noticed on the slides. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to get your own hard copy or soft copy of them and make a hard copy if you like or whatever, but in any case. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Jim and I will leave, and Craig is up for the next presentation, so he's staying.
Great.